Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blame It on the Stars, where we give you an inside look to what's going on in the universe so you can blame your problems on the stars. It is Jade here.
And it's Kara.
And this week, I'm a little sick, so bear with me with my voice. But this week, we're talking all about Aquarius season and everything that will happen so you know what you're getting into up front. But in case you missed it, last week we had Mars retrograde into Cancer. It's going to be there for quite a while. We also had Mercury enter Capricorn in the full moon in Cancer. So if you want to know more about those, then definitely check out last week's episode before diving into this one.
And just to give you a heads up, next week we will tell you everything that you need to know about Mercury in Aquarius and also the North Node in Pisces. We will be talking about these transits a week early so that you have time to prepare.
Now, the transit that is happening the soonest to when this episode comes out is the Sun entering Aquarius. So we will explain that more in depth now. But everything else that's to come in Aquarius season does happen starting in late January and in February. We'll tell you about them now so you know, but everything like Mercury in Aquarius, Mercury in Pisces, the North Node in Pisces, new moon in Aquarius, full moon in Leo, Venus in Aries, and Uranus and Jupiter stationing direct will all have their own episodes, but we'll just tell you about them now so you know what's to come. And with that being said, let's dive into the episode. So Aquarius season begins when the Sun enters Aquarius on January 19th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Per usual, the date and time are from the website astroseek.com. How this affects you. When the Sun enters Aquarius, we begin to take on the Aquarius themes and notice them show up in our day-to-day lives. So there might be more of a focus on innovation, individuality, and taking on more unconventional ideas.
What you can expect. While the Sun is in Aquarius, you can expect to be a little bit more curious and to explore new ideas or perspectives. This is also a time where you might be rethinking some of your typical habits or different norms in your life in order to explore new possibilities. This might be a time to change things up and also to be more focused on your mind and new ideas. Aquarius is a very social energy, so some of this exploration might be happening with other people, whether that be with your friends, people at work, your loved ones, just taking time to really sit down and understand each other.
Now, there are some key dates you're going to want to pay attention to. These are the aspects that the Sun will make while it moves through Aquarius. The first is on January 20th, the day after Aquarius season begins. We have the Sun sextile the North Node. This could be a really good day for aligning yourself and what you feel is authentic for you with your future path, making this a really good day to set intentions and take action that feels purposeful.
And then on January 21st, the Sun will be conjunct Pluto. This is a day of big transformation, whether that is on the outside by changing up your look or trying out a new outfit. It also could be a day of internal transformation through realization or deep reflection.
And then on February 9th, the Sun will conjunct Mercury. This is also known as a cazimi. On this day, you can expect that you will be feeling mentally clear and able to express yourself very easily. So conversations and ideas on this day might feel more insightful than usual or more aligned with your goals.
And lastly, on February 11th, the Sun will be square Uranus. This is a very sudden and potentially challenging energy because it can bring about a lot of changes. You can expect the unexpected, and just remember to stay flexible in your plans and to embrace new ways of doing things.
Now, everything else that happens in Aquarius season will have their own episodes in the weeks to come where we go more in depth, but we're still going to tell you about them now. The next thing that happens in Aquarius season is Mercury entering Aquarius on January 27th at 9:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What you need to know is that Mercury in Aquarius can really enhance your ability to think creatively and also to think objectively, making this a really good transit for things like brainstorming or collaborating on ideas or just thinking outside of the box in general.
Something you should know is that Mercury in Aquarius will encourage you to focus on being authentic and reflecting on your own perspectives. It can also be a good time to be innovative and to connect with others, whether that is online or in person.
So the next thing that happens in Aquarius season that you're going to want to pay attention to is the North Node entering Pisces on January 29th. This happens at 1:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yes, that could mean this happens on January 28th, depending on what time zone you're in. How this affects you: the North Node in Pisces will mark the beginning of an era that emphasizes spiritual growth, compassion, and creativity. The North Node is the direction that we are headed towards as a collective. So this transit for everyone will be encouraging you to let go of things like perfectionism so you can embrace intuition, empathy, and emotional connection.
What you need to know is that this is a time to really surrender and trust the process. You might find that you're having some realizations or inspiration even to find meaning in the things that you were doing or to reconnect with your purpose or even your artistic side. You might feel like you're being pulled into different directions or into changing up some of the things going on in your life, in the way that you are approaching it. It can be kind of intense because the North Node really is about your path in life, and Pisces energy is very dreamy and expansive. However, it will help you to connect with those deeper parts of yourself.
So just a few hours after we have the North Node entering Pisces, we have the new moon in Aquarius. This will be January 29th, but at 7:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What you can expect is that this new moon will offer an opportunity for you to set intentions around those Aquarius themes, such as individuality or innovation or even your future goals, since Aquarius is a very future-oriented sign. This new moon can really encourage you to embrace what makes you unique and focus on building a future that reflects your personal truth.
Something you might not know is that this is the first new moon of the year, making it a good time to reflect on some of the resolutions that you may have set for yourself. Or if you're not typically the type of person to set those resolutions, this could be a good time to just start to set some new goals for yourself. The new moon will also have aspects to both Jupiter and Pluto, which really can support you in making big and meaningful changes in your life. So definitely don't shy away if you do have some big dreams or goals that you want to set for yourself.
The day after the new moon in Aquarius, Uranus will station direct in Taurus. So this is January 30th at 11:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What you need to know is that Uranus stationing direct could encourage more forward momentum in areas that deal with change and personal freedom. So you can expect to have some breakthroughs or realizations in any areas that you might have felt stuck in before.
How this affects you: once Uranus enters the sign of Taurus, you might feel a sudden urge to break away from any routines that you have that feel stale or uninspiring. This is a good time to focus on exploring new opportunities or creating new routines and habits for yourself. Also, changing things up when it comes to your finances or on a more personal level when it comes to your values.
The next thing that happens in Aquarius season that you're going to want to pay attention to is Venus entering Aries on February 4th at 2:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yes, that could be February 3rd if you're on a different coast. Something you should know is that Venus entering Aries can bring a very bold and confident energy when it comes to your relationships, any personal connections you might have, or any areas of your life that require you to be creative.
What you can expect, this is a time to take initiative and to start any creative projects. Aries is a very passionate energy, so while Venus is in that sign, you might feel very motivated to express yourself and also to connect with others.
Venus will have a retrograde in Aries at some point. More on that to come at a later date. But when we release the Venus in Aries episode, that's one you're going to want to pay attention to if you want to prepare. But speaking of retrogrades, Jupiter retrograde comes to an end on February 4th at 4:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when Jupiter stations direct in Gemini. How this will affect you. Jupiter's direct motion in Gemini can inspire you to be curious, optimistic, and it can push you to revisit any goals that you might have had that are related to things like learning or improving your communication skills.
Something you might not know is that this is a very powerful moment for expanding your perspective and opening up your mind to new possibilities. Jupiter's optimistic energy mixing with Gemini's very adaptable energy does make this a good time to explore new ideas and ways of doing things. So just keep that in mind. This is a great time to be open-minded and to explore new things.
The next thing that happens during Aquarius season is the full moon in Leo on February 12th at 8:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. How this affects you. The full moon can bring attention to your self-expression and things that bring you joy in your personal life, making this a really good full moon for you to let go of self-doubt so that you could step into your confidence and feel joyful.
What you can expect, while full moons do bring about heightened emotions, this full moon really highlight your desire to be seen for your true and authentic self. It also is a good time to celebrate who you are and reconnect with any activities that bring you joy, which also can include things from your childhood because Leo is associated with your inner child.
And lastly, we end Aquarius season with Mercury entering Pisces. This will happen on February 14th at 7:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What you need to know is that Mercury in Pisces can really enhance your intuition and your creativity. So when you are engaging with others, you might be feeling a little bit more empathetic and more drawn to expressing your emotions in more creative ways.
Something you should know is that while this transit will encourage you to be more compassionate and imaginative, it also can bring moments of mental fog. So it's really important that you stay grounded and channel your energy into artistic or other creative outlets.
And that is it for this week's episode. Just a reminder, next week we'll be talking all about Mercury in Aquarius and the North Node in Pisces. So if you want to know more about those, then definitely make sure wherever you're listening to this podcast, you're subscribed with the notifications turned on so you don't miss when we post next week. But until then, that is all for now, and we'll see you all next Monday. Bye.